Okay, I'm going to do another boil test. Now this time we're going to use, this is from Walmart. It's a thin steel camping pot, so they usually heat up pretty quick. I've got a pie pan here with a little bit of water in the bottom in case I need to put this out. I can set this over it, and once this top gets in the water, it'll put it out because it smothers it out. And we're going to go with 2 quarts of water. I'm not sure what that stove's on. I'll have to look at that for a second. I didn't like seeing it a second ago. It's not burned even yet, so let's give it a second. Okay, I went and got my timer. Forgot my timer. Okay, that's just a new stove and it's nothing to brag about. It don't hit on every hole all the time. I'm gonna go ahead and poke this hole here and see if I can get it to take off. But yeah, that helped. Okay, I'm gonna get my timer on here. Let's see here. I don't know if that's on clock or what. Stopwatch. Okay, I'll go ahead and set this up here. I'm figuring about 15 to 20 minutes, so you might want to, I'll be talking to you, but you might want to flip forward. It's going to be a little while. Let me see if I set that where you can see it. Yeah, you can see it if I turn it like that. I'm trying to prop stuff up here so you can see it. Can you see that all right? Yeah. Now I'm going to look at the flame here and see what it looks like. Yeah, I'm not quite center, so. Now this is a beer can chicken stand set in a pan here, and I've got a lid I want to put on there just to kind of help it. Because after all, I'm boiling 2 quarts of water, 2 really full quarts of cold water like comes out of the spigot. So, and it's winter time here. It was down to 0 last night, so our city water is coming in pretty cold to it, and I ran it till it was cold too. Don't sit real tight on there, does it? Maybe. Well, it's still better than nothing. I'll put something up there for weight. Let's see if this is too much. Just to kind of make sure it kind of somewhat seals. And I think that's going to be all right. At least that's something to help it. I don't know what I did with the lid to that. I think it's up to my hunting camp. I brought this home and I don't have the lid, so it must be up there. I brought it home to give it a good cleaning because I ran out of water and I was tired of dumping dishwater outside my camper too, because I hunt up there and I don't like to, scare the deer with the scents and stuff. Yeah, I don't know why that was going dark, but now I'm gonna let you see the flame. Now this is a soda can stove, a penny stove. It's about this size. That one's made out of Pepsi cans, and boy, are they a lot better. It might be just a hair taller than this. This one here runs about 35 minutes, but it only runs about 30 to 31 minutes where it actually puts out a lot. It really starts slowing down. Now let's look. And like I say, we're not boiling 2 cups of water like everybody else does. We're boiling 2 quarts. And I mean, the flame's pretty even. It's not dead even, but it's close. It ought to be good enough that it won't be, shouldn't change the time. Let's see what I got going. Yeah, it's not quite dead. So now let's pull it forward here a little bit. And that's a little bit more. Yeah, it's fairly center. I'm gonna let that go and see if I feel any heat in here. And the pan's not warm yet, so. Now what I've done here, this down here is the bottom. Wow, I can really feel the heat down there. This is the bottom, well, it's actually the top of one of these. That bottom had split. I just took the top and I turned it upside down. I put it down here to get my can to my other my alcohol stove up because I really like using these stands for a pot stand, but they're a little tall, and I didn't really want to cut it because I didn't think it'd be as strong then. I don't really have a way to weld that stainless stuff or anything for that matter. Just see what kind of heat we're getting right there, and it's 118 degrees. Let's see what the flame, if it shows the flame. I don't know if it even knows. But yeah, the flame is 446, which is probably not really, it probably don't bounce off flame very good. Let's shoot the ball of that. So the side of the pot's running. Let me turn the light on for you. Side of the pot's only running 115. Top's running 90. The water under it's running 90, 88. It's warm right here. That thing puts the heat down pretty good. I actually got my Monoprice. It's like a jet boil. It's a 1 liter cook system today, and I put it on. I did a video unboxing it today. If you want to check that out, it's what's it called? The brand name. Now let me find the box here. Okay, here it is. Now it came from Monoprice, but it says Pure Outdoors. It says Pure Outdoors on the top, but it came from Monoprice, as you can see. And people were showing them online. Now they were different. Some of them were different. This one's actually better than the one I watched. There's a picture of it. It don't have the handle. It comes up on top, but it has the folding handles on the side. But the little adjustment knob seems to be better. Of course, I haven't used it yet. But there was a video on YouTube, and all the comments were saying that these weren't available anymore. So I punched in Pure Outdoors 1 liter, camping stove, cook system, whatever it's called. And Monoprice showed up. It went to their site and it was available. So it was like $34 or $35 or something like that. And by the time I paid some tax on it, the shipping was free, there was tax. It came to like $37 or something like that. It was really cheap. And when I got it, I'm really happy with it. Now it's not the Minimo jet boil because they're a little smaller, and the quality might not be as good as a jet boil, but I'm really happy with it. I think it's as nice as the one that Walmart's offering for like $70 or $80. And the only thing is it don't come with the adapter to use propane, but I can buy the adapter, and I probably will, so I can use the little propane tanks when I'm not packing a long ways, because they actually work better anyway, and they're just bigger. You can't get them in such a short. They don't make the propane tanks down to that size. I wish they did. If we're getting any heat up here. Yeah, I can tell the pan's getting a little heat now. Oh, I got a little bit of bubbles forming in the bottom of the pot. And how it does. That doesn't mean it's boiling, of course, but you can tell it's getting a lot of heat. And we'll put this up here, and then we'll look underneath and see what it looks like underneath. See what it looks like underneath here. And it's pretty well centered, isn't it? Pretty close. We've got a nice blue flame, none of that yellow stuff. That other stove gave me a lot of yellow flame. It's because one would be burning higher than the other, and I don't think I made that stove very good. I don't know. But this thing's burning pretty good. But yeah, check out that other video. It says Monoprice, Monoprice, and it says Pure Outdoors, and it says 1 liter stove, unboxing, something like that. And that says for $37 or under $37 or whatever I put on there. It's one of my other videos, so if you go down to Coffee Man 3000, then you can see it. This is going to be a long video, not a lot happening here, guys. So don't vote me the most boring person on YouTube. This is just the way it is. It takes a long time to boil 2 quarts of water. Instead of boiling 2 cups, you're boiling 8 cups. And probably a little more than that, because I just fill these jars up to here. So I actually don't know. I don't have a measuring cup. I had a 1 cup measuring cup and I can't find it. I'd like to know what it measures to, but like I say, I don't have my measuring cup. I don't know if my daughter got it. She likes to take stuff and then goes and uses it for stuff, and then it doesn't make it back into our utensil drawer where we keep our measuring cups. Okay, I've been filming for 10 minutes, and we have been, looks like we're at 8 minutes and 42 seconds of cook time. I probably should add about 10 seconds to that, because I had this on the fire for a few seconds and I pulled it off, so I'm going to make sure that fire evened out, and then I put it back. But I didn't start the timer until after I set it there. But we're just getting a general idea here. It's not like we're putting anything on the books. See what the side of the pot looks like now. All right, 143. The top's at 95. 93 on the bottom. It was like 88. If you decide to do this, make sure you open your windows. If you have a fan, kick it on. I know you can use these things inside, but I don't advise it. I think you should. If you're going to burn alcohol in the house, you need to open your windows, ventilate, and you should do it when it's done, not start it up again. Let the house air out. If you get carbon monoxide poisoning, you might not even know it, and it can cause all kinds of problems. It can mess up your organs. So don't be getting carbon monoxide poisoning just so you can try out your alcohol stove. It's the middle of the night here and pouring down the rain, so I'm just going to go ahead and, well, it's not raining now, it's snowing, but it was raining. It was 0 a couple nights ago here. Our weather's been crazy lately. I'm going to get me something to drink here. I'll let you keep an eye on that stove for me. I don't know if you ever had sassafras tea, but when I was growing up, my dad and my grandfather would get the roots from a sassafras tree in the fall or the winter, let them dry out, and in the spring, we would scratch the bark off them roots or the skin off them roots and make tea. I'm sweetening it with Splenda, the liquid Splenda. But now you can buy it already extracted, and it tastes the same. This is ancient infusions, but it used to say Pappy's. It says original Pappy's recipe, but now someone else has bought him out. But I'm telling you, that stuff is as good as if I went back in time and my Pap made it for me. That's really good stuff. Give it a try. I found it at the supermarket. I think it's delicious. A lot of people don't like that stuff though. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, we're at 11, almost 12 minutes. At 12 minutes, I'll take a look at it. I doubt if it'll be boiling yet, but it's coming along. This is hot. This is real hot. I mean, that's it says it's 88 degrees, but I can't lay my hand on that. I don't think that's correct. I'd say that reflective thing's making it wrong. There's no way that's only 88 degrees. Oh, it says 101, 104, 199, 101, 104. I don't know. It feels to me like it should be. I mean, that's too hot to touch. All right, we're at 12 and a half minutes. Right now we don't have a boil. It's coming along. You can see it's trying to boil, isn't it? You can see some bubbles coming up. It's not just bubbles on the bottom now. It's looking really good. I'd say it'll be boiling here in a few minutes. Now let's look up underneath here. Oh, we got a pretty flame. There's no yellow or anything. That is cooking away. And the fuel I'm using, they tell me that denatured alcohol is about the best you can use. But what we're using today is what I've been using. The heat, the yellow heat. Don't buy the red. It don't burn very good from what I understand, but not only that, it's dangerous. It's got cleaners and stuff in it. It's more of a treatment than this here is just something you use to mix with water in your gas line to get it to unfreeze, so your fuel lines don't freeze up and stop up on you. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this. I think this is gonna be boiling here pretty soon. Since we have plenty of fuel, I'll go ahead and do a test on this other cup. As soon as this one's done, it'll be in a different video, of course. And I'm gonna measure it by taking this, and what it says is 2 cups. With this thing full, should be 2 cups. 2 cups should be right there at that line, because here's a cup, here's a cup and a half. So, and I'll pour that in here, and then we'll heat this up till it's boiling, and we'll get an idea how long it takes that on that beer can chicken holder stand for a stove top, for a pot holder. Okay, so you can see this is really full. And I'm gonna pour it in here. Wow, 2 cups, that's really full. I didn't realize it held that much. I mean, I didn't realize it would fill it up that much. Okay, we are at almost 15 minutes. It may be boiling here in a minute. I don't see any steam coming out, and I really should. I'm just gonna peek real quick, like this. And it's not doing anything that it wasn't doing a few minutes ago. The fire's really doing good. Really blue. I'm gonna scoot this in a little bit. It burns out one side more than the other, seems like. I want you to see that stove there. This is the way they should look. Nice and blue like that. All blue, no yellow. That's really how they're supposed to burn. I've made several. This is the only the second one I ever had that burnt nice and even like it. That looks like a kitchen gas range. So that looks really good, like a natural gas range or even a propane range. Looks really good. If I could get them all to burn like that, that'd be great. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go ahead and do that in this video. As soon as that's boiling, we'll set that off. I'll set this one on. I'll reset the timer. And that way, we can just get it all done in one shot. I use this sometimes, the 91. It does okay. This does better. And then, I guess the denatured alcohol does best. Now, I can hear the pot now. Let's see. It's starting to make noise. So, it's probably getting close to boiling. And we are at almost 16 and a half minutes. I kind of figured about 15 because the last one boiled in that aluminum pot. It took 21 minutes, and the aluminum, you know, is a little thicker and a little slower to boil. And then on top of that, I didn't have a lid on it for a while. Yeah, that's doing something. Let me look here. It's not boiling now. I'm pretty sure I did 2 quarts of water in that other one. In the other test, I was using this stove. It's the same thing more or less. Just that and there doesn't do as well. But this other one seems to be doing better. If I use the one out of the larger cans, like the Arizona tea cans, it really does a good job. But it won't fit in this holder, and honestly, it only saves you maybe a minute or two. So honestly, if it even saves that, I like this because it's nice and stable. I could use this out in the field, you know, out. Oh, that's really vibrating. Ouch, really vibrating. Okay, we got a boil. Let me show you that, and I'll cover it up. It's not a total rolling boil, but it's 1750. We've got a boil. Can you see that? Okay, now let me cover it up for about 30 more seconds. We'll make sure it goes to a rolling boil, because that's really what we want. Rolling boil. So we did about 1730, 1740. I touched it. It was vibrating. It's vibrating now. really hot. I don't think these things work against reflective surfaces very good. There's no way that's only 101 degrees. Let's see what it says here. 199 there, 198, 185. Right at the top of the pot, 188. So this thing just doesn't read right up here. I guess it's reflecting off of that shiny stuff. Okay, let's see here. Let's just wait till 19, and then we'll just look. And if it's a rolling boil, I'm starting to see steam. Can you see steam coming up there? Got some steam coming up. I'd say we got a rolling boil. I'm gonna show you at 19 minutes, and we're right there right now. So let's just go ahead and look at it. Now, that's a pretty good rolling boil. I'm pretty happy with that. And of course, it doesn't look as. If I'm looking at the naked eye, it looks like a nice boil. When you look at it through this, it just don't. I don't even know how the camera is. It just doesn't do what the naked eye does. But anyway, so we're going to call that 19 minutes. Let's stop. Let's reset. Let me get my glove. Just had it. Oh, there it is. We'll set that off onto the stove here. Let me make some room here. I want to do this before we run out of gas. No, it's still boiling, but once you take that pan off, it does slow down. Now, I'm going to set this on, but it's not going to have a lid. Let's go ahead and push start. Now, I'm going to take this out of the way because this steam used to have this in the way. But we got a nice pot of hot water here. Bowl 2 quarts, and it's heavy, so that's pretty substantial for an alcohol stove to be cooking. Cool water down my okay. We'll go ahead and smooth this out of the way. Now, I would cover up the cup, but I think an alcohol stove boiling a couple cups of water like this, I don't think it really needs covered up to help it out. But that big pot, that was a lot to ask out of it. You see how pretty my blue flame is? I mean, that is just burning beautiful. That is really nice. There's no yellow. It's getting a little high over here, but that's just how it is. Let me turn it a little bit so you can see how high it gets in some places. Well, see that, there we go. But it was running way up the cup there earlier around here. I guess it's just the way the stove must not be level. Because as I turn it, the highness, see it's here. Let's see what it's doing though. It's just got a lot of flame for that. See how it's going way up that side over there. Honestly, this would be a better setup for that. These things aren't really small enough to heat up cups, but it'll definitely boil. I'll just have to grab it out here, and I will use my gloves. This is still nice and cool though, so that's good. This is just from Walmart. It's a $5 or $6 camp cup. This folds up for space saving when you're packing. Of course, a lot of people put their little Luxana on different stoves, the little pocket stoves in them, and I don't know. I don't think you can get a bottle of fuel down in there, but maybe you can. I don't know. You can use these on the little wood gas stoves, which I got a couple videos on them. Those are a lot of fun. But what I found with them, I don't really like using them. They just dirty up the bottom of my cups. My wife bought me this nice Stanley cup. It comes with, it's a cook set. It comes with a couple cups inside, and that still smells like wood smoke. And I've scrubbed on. I haven't took like an abrasive pad to it, but it's like baked on there. And that was done with wood pellets. So really, they're dried. You wouldn't think there'd be any sap or anything. Really dirties up your stuff. It works, but they're fun. But they're just the little wood sets are nice, but they are what they are. There. Honestly, I'd rather use this than the wood gas stove. No, I use a wood gas stove for big stuff. Now, I like when I am burning a fire, I like it to be in a setup that uses the wood gas because it burns cleaner and gets rid of the smoke. But still, now we're getting a pretty good heat on that. Now we're at almost 3.5 minutes, and I've got the bottom of the cup's really looking good. I think it may boil here in just a few seconds here, maybe. I know I had it boiling at 4 minutes one time before, but I didn't think I had 2 cups of water because I eyeballed it instead of measuring it and didn't realize how full that had to be 2 cups. I thought 2 cups was just barely over half on that cup, but as you can see, we are at 351. So let's give it a little bit more. Not going to do it right at 4 minutes anyway. I was making a video the other day, and I had the cup on there, set on there, and I was talking about it, and without even realizing, you could see in the video that it was boiling before I noticed it boiled at like, I think 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Evidently that was that other stove, maybe that bigger stove made out of the, maybe that's the one I made with the Arizona iced tea cans. Because this isn't boiling yet, and it's been 4.5 minutes. It's trying to boil. I got a lot of bubbles coming up. It's not a boil. I'm gonna wait till it's a rolling boil, and I'll show it to you, and I'll take it off. Now the one day I boiled 2 cups in this and poured it in the pot quick, and I was able to boil this 4 times, and it came to like 24, 25 minutes. And these stoves burn different. Like when you first light them, they burn a certain heat. As they go, it seems like they get hotter. And once you get over so many minutes, they don't boil water as quick. They still put out real similar heat, but it might boil 2 cups of water in 4 minutes. Then you dump that out, and you rinse the cup out, and you put it back on. It might boil the next one in 5, and then the next one might boil in 3.5. It's just, you can't really tell by looking at the flame. They don't. Now I've got a boil. I'm gonna let it go. We're at 5:30. Let's let it go to 6, because I don't think that's what I consider. That's not what I consider a heavy boil, but it's coming. See, I got some boiling going on there. So we're at, see if you can see both, 5:50. I don't think it's gonna do it at 6 either. Keep in mind, that's 2 cups. You don't have to boil that much. Most people only, I don't know if you're supposed to add 2 cups to the mountain house thing. No, it's going to start boiling now. I see the steam rolling. Now, we've been cooking for 26 minutes, 27 minutes. And that stove is still going to town. Now, if I'd have set this on there right at the beginning, it might have boiled quicker. Now, I've got a pretty good boil there. We'll say 635, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That there, I consider that, and you can see it's just getting heavier and heavier. That's a good boil there. Now, let's see if this is hot. It's not. And you can see the bowl. Set this down here, and I'm going to turn this light off. You don't see any yellow coming up off that fire. Yeah, a little bit. Maybe a little bit. But that is a nice, clean fire. Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to dump this out and see if we can boil it again. I had to rinse that out. It's really hot. I didn't want to start out with a hot cup. We'll see if we have enough gas. I'm drying off the bottom because it was soaking wet. Let's see if we have enough gas to do it again. And we'll stop this, and we'll reset it and start again. And try to get that centered as good as I can. Now with this cup here, unlike that pot, most of the heat's hitting on the outside because that ring is actually stopping the fire in the middle. And that's just the way it is. I could break that ring and bend it out, but then the stove wouldn't be as strong. I mean, the stand wouldn't be as strong. It's good if you have a gap and the gas can go up and hit the bottom of the cup and come out. It would probably speed it up and at least knock a minute off of it. Nice thing about this cup is you guys can see. I don't have to take the camera down for you to see. I can tell that fire's not going where it was earlier, I don't think. It's doing good, but it might be getting close to burning out. The other one would burn out. This one here was lasting 34, 35 minutes, but the last few minutes, I mean, it really got slow. And then the bigger stove, the Arizona iced tea can that was larger, it only burned 30 minutes total. It went out, I think it might have made it to 32 minutes, but like it went down at like 28 minutes. We're right at probably fire time. We're at 30 minutes with that stove running. Cause I had that, well, actually longer than that, I had the stove burning before I started the video. So we're probably at 31 minutes on the stove or a little more. And as you can see, it's not putting out the heat. I don't think we're going to be able to get this cup to boil. It's not going to last long enough. Yeah, we're running out of stove. It looks good, but it's not. When it starts slowing down like that, it's not going to last. If it would last like that for a while, it would either get the cup up to boiling or it would get it pretty hot. But I think we're about done with this. Yeah, it's dying on me. It stayed blue the whole time though. That shouldn't have even. Let me look up. Let me dump this out and I'll show you the bottom of the cup. The water's really warm. That's as hot as I could stand for bath water. Let me show you the bottom of this cup. That's what it looked like after I washed it last time. But there's nothing. I don't know if I had something white around here, I'd wipe it and show you how clean that burns. Well, I've got this receipt from Food Line, the grocery store, but it'll show you. And there's no black or anything. It didn't, but now last time it did, but that other stove burned a lot of yellow flame, and that yellow really makes the well, it just puts soot on your stuff. This is another cup. This is something that an older cup. I guess it's a camp cup. It's bigger than this one. You see that? Have I got the camera? Yeah, it's bigger than this one and it's taller. It's actually pretty nice for this stuff. The only thing I don't like is you can't fold the handle up, but this here will actually cook better. But I figured I'd use this one because this is what most people are going to be comparing to other videos, you know. Okay, well, I'm going to extinguish that, and I'm going to call that a wrap. Guys, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up and ask me questions. And if you want me to do another kind of video, let me know. I'm always looking for something. I've been going to Goodwill trying to find different kinds of stands and stuff just for fun. I really enjoy doing this. Thanks for watching.